A girl named Lena Monroe, just 21, walked alone toward one of those buildings, the Crystal Plaza, a tall, shiny tower filled with expensive stores, big offices, and important people. She wore a faded blue janitor's uniform, her black shoes slightly worn at the heels. Her backpack was old but clean. Everything about her was quiet, simple, and neat. Lena had been working as a cleaner since she was 18. She never caused trouble, never complained. She came early, stayed late, and kept to herself. People barely noticed her. But that morning, someone did. As Lena crossed the sidewalk toward the tower's main doors, a sleek black car slowed down beside her. The engine hummed low, like a cat ready to pounce. Then, suddenly, it sped up. Splash! A wave of cold, muddy water hit her square in the chest. Her clothes were soaked. Her hair, carefully braided earlier that morning, now clung to her cheeks. Inside the car sat a young woman in bright makeup and a fur coat. Brittany Vale, a famous social media star, known more for her rich attitude than any real talent. She laughed loudly from the open window. "Clean yourself up, janitor," Brittany shouted with a grin before driving off. A few people nearby looked, then quickly turned away. No one stepped forward. No one asked if Lena was okay. She stood, still for a moment, eyes wide, heart frozen. Then slowly, she reached into her bag and pulled out a small towel. She wiped her face, patted her uniform, and fixed her name badge. Not a single tear came down her cheek. She didn't say a word. She just kept walking. From across the street, sitting inside a quiet little coffee shop, a man watched the whole thing. His name was Derek West. In his early 30s, he looked like any regular customer. Black sweater, clean jeans, eyes tired but kind. But Derek wasn't just anyone. He was the secret owner of the Crystal Plaza and several other buildings in the city. Few people knew his face. He liked it that way. He preferred to listen, observe, and help from the shadows. That morning, as he watched Lena walk toward the building, soaked but proud, he didn't see a janitor. He saw his mother, years ago, coming home after cleaning offices all night. Her hands cracked, her feet sore, but her back straight. She had raised him alone, working jobs no one wanted, doing it with grace. Lena reminded him of her. He turned to the barista. "Could you give that young lady a sandwich, warm, and I'd like to include a note." He wrote a single line on a small paper napkin. "Keep going. Someone sees you." Lena found the sandwich in her locker later that day. No name, no explanation. She stared at it, confused. Then she read the note, slowly, twice. Her fingers trembled just a little. She smiled, not wide, just a small curve. Of the lips, but it lit up her tired face. No one had ever done something like that for her. From that day on, little things began to change. A new pair of gloves appeared in her cleaning cart, just her size. A hot drink waited by her mop bucket when she arrived early. A small notebook with kind quotes and encouraging words showed up in her backpack one morning. She never saw who did it. No one claimed it, but something deep inside her heart whispered, "You're not invisible anymore." Still, not everyone was happy about her sudden bit of light. Some of the other cleaners, especially the older ones, started whispering behind her. "Back, she thinks she's special now, huh? I bet she's sucking up to management." One man even switched her shift schedule on the system, trying to get her in trouble for missing work. But Lena, as always, stayed calm. She showed her daily logs, explained with quiet patience, offered to redo the floor. The manager blinked in surprise. "You don't have to." "I don't mind," she said. "I just want to do it right." Days turned into weeks. Lena's quiet reputation grew, even among some executives. People started noticing how clean the floors were, how fresh the air smelled when she worked. She arranged trash bins neatly, left little folded paper flowers on desks she passed. One morning, a receptionist asked her, "Why do you still smile when people treat you badly?" Lena paused, then said, "Because I still have something to give." The woman stared at her, speechless. Meanwhile, back in her small apartment, Lena opened a letter that changed her world. She read it once, then again. Her eyes welled up. It was a scholarship, full tuition, to study hospitality management at one of the best universities in the country. There was no name. No contact, only a single sentence at the bottom. "Your future is more than mops and floors. I believe in you." Lena sat on her bed, hands covering her mouth. She wasn't dreaming. It was real. She had been seen, truly, deeply seen. From the same coffee shop window, Derek watched the city move as it always did, busy, fast, uncaring. But he smiled to himself, knowing that one small act of kindness had started something. He didn't want thanks. He didn't want attention. He just believed that some people deserve a chance, even when the world tells them they don't belong. And Lena Monroe, she was proof that a little faith could go a long, long way. Lena Monroe's days became longer, but so did her dreams. By day, she scrubbed floors and dusted furniture in Crystal Plaza's grand halls. By night, she sat in the back of college classrooms, taking notes with tired eyes and hopeful hands. Her scholarship had opened a door, but Lena still had to walk through it, step by step, with no shortcuts. The classes were tough. The textbooks felt like they were written in another language. Most of her classmates were younger, louder, dressed in fancy clothes, and drove cars she couldn't afford to look at. They talked about vacations in Spain, dinner in Paris, and luxury skincare. Routines. Lena didn't speak much in class. She sat quietly, soaking up every word. Her hands were rough from cleaning chemicals. Her bag still carried a mop handle sticking out the side. But she never missed a lesson, and slowly, professors noticed her. Classmates did too. Back at Crystal Plaza, things were changing as well. Her managers, impressed with her attitude and work ethic, promoted her to the VIP executive floor, the top level of the building, reserved for company CEOs, foreign dignitaries, and even celebrities. The floor gleamed like gold. The windows stretched from floor to sky. Everything smelled of rich wood and quiet money. It was a huge step up, but not everyone celebrated. Downstairs, the other janitors whispered, "She must be sleeping with someone upstairs." One muttered, "She's faking, that sweet girl." "Act," said another. "Just wait, she'll fall." The same man who had switched her schedule tried again, this time hiding her cleaning supplies and reporting her for being unprepared. When confronted, Lena simply showed her record. Her logbook, her notes, all in order. She didn't fight. She didn't argue. She just kept going. But even quiet strength can crack sometimes. One night, Lena stood alone in the staff break room. Her fingers gripped the edge of the sink. Her eyes burned. She wasn't crying, not yet, but her chest felt heavy, like someone had laid a stone on it. She thought of her mother, who passed away when Lena was just 16. Her mom had cleaned hotels. She had taught Lena how to fold sheets, remove stains, and keep her back straight, even when the world bent her spirit. "I miss you," Lena whispered, barely loud enough to hear. Behind her, someone cleared their throat. It was the security guard, Mrs. Ramos, an older woman with soft eyes and sharp instincts. "You okay, baby?" she asked gently. Lena nodded, blinking fast. "You don't got to carry everything by yourself," Ramos said. "Even strong girls need a place to fall apart." Lena smiled weakly. "I just don't want to break." "You won't," Ramos replied. "You're made of things the world can't wash away." A few days later, the building buzzed with gossip. Brittany Vale, the influencer who had soaked Lena months ago, was back. She came to Crystal Plaza for a business event, sponsored by one of the luxury brands upstairs. Dressed in a new designer outfit, she walked like she owned the sky. But fate had a memory. One of the security staff, a young tech intern named Miles, had been reviewing old security footage for training. He came across the video of the puddle incident. He saw Brittany laughing. He saw Lena standing there, soaked and humiliated. He uploaded the clip anonymously. It spread like wildfire. Cruel influencer, soaks janitor, laughs while people watch. People were angry. The internet exploded. Old posts surfaced, videos where Brittany mocked waitresses, made fun of delivery drivers, called janitors invisible moppers. She tried to defend herself. It was just a joke. Don't be so sensitive. But it was too late. Sponsors dropped her, followers unfollowed her, even her father, a wealthy businessman known for his clean public image, publicly condemned her behavior. He removed her from company ads, closed her accounts, and demanded she make a public apology. She appeared in a video, no filters, no bright lights. Just her, sitting alone. To the girl I humiliated, Lena. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice cracking. "You didn't deserve that. I didn't see you. I was wrong." Lena saw the video on her phone while mopping near the executive elevator. She didn't feel joy. She didn't smile. She simply whispered, "Wow." Ramos asked, "You good?" Lena nodded. "I didn't want revenge. I just wanted peace." And somehow, that made her even stronger. That evening, just as she finished her shift, her phone buzzed. A message from a number she didn't recognize. "Meet me at 6 p.m. in front of Crystal Plaza. Come as you are. DW." Her heart skipped. She didn't have time to overthink. At 6 sharp, Lena walked to the front of the building, the very same place where the puddle had hit her months ago, and there he was, Derek West, leaning against that same sleek black car. Only this time, it didn't splash. It waited for her. Derek looked at her gently. "You came." "I didn't know what to expect," she said softly. "You don't need to expect anything. You've already done enough." He handed her an envelope. Inside was a letter and a key. She looked up, confused. "It's a fully furnished apartment," he said. "Close to your campus, no more long bus rides, no more double shifts, just a place to breathe." Lena's hands trembled. "I don't understand," she whispered. "Why me?" Derek smiled. "Because the world needs more people like you. And sometimes angels don't wear wings. They wear cleaning gloves." Her eyes welled up. But this time, the tears weren't from pain. They were from gratitude. Real, deep, overflowing gratitude. That night, Lena stood in her new apartment, a warm, cozy space with soft lights, thick blankets, and silence that felt like home. She placed the note from the sandwich, the gloves, the notebook, and the scholarship. Let her all on her new shelf, a quiet shrine to the kindness that carried her this far. She sat by the window and whispered a prayer, not just of thanks, but of promise that she would keep going, keep shining, not just for herself, but for every invisible worker who had ever felt unseen. Lena woke up to sunshine streaming through soft curtains. No alarms, no rushing buses, no stares from strangers, wondering what a janitor was doing in a college class. She was home, really home. For the first time in years, her new apartment was small but beautiful. Cozy rugs, a working heater, a tiny balcony with a flower pot someone had left behind. There was even a welcome basket on the table, tea, biscuits, and a handwritten note from Derek. "You earned this. Keep going. DW." At Crystal Plaza, whispers turned into silence. Lena still showed up for work every now and then, part-time, just on weekends now that school was her full focus. The cleaning staff started treating her with new respect. Even the man who once tried to sabotage her avoided her gaze. But Lena didn't carry hate in her heart. She greeted everyone with a nod and a soft, "Good morning." She didn't raise her chin or speak louder. She didn't need to. Her presence said enough. At school, Lena transformed. She started raising her hand in class. She joined a study group. She volunteered to help first-year students who were struggling to adjust. She was No longer the quiet girl with mop hands and tired eyes, she was the one people asked for advice, the one professors smiled at, the one who stayed after class to help explain a chapter someone didn't understand, and then came something she never expected. One day her professor, Dr. Ames, called her aside. "You ever thought of interning with a non-profit?" he asked. Lena blinked. "Like, for cleaning?" "No," he chuckled. "For leadership, community organizing. You're a natural, Lena. People listen to you, even when you speak softly." She hesitated. "I don't have experience." "You have something better," he replied. "You have a story." She took the internship. It was at a small organization that helped underprivileged youth find job training and scholarships. Lena immediately fit in, not because she had the right degree, but because she had lived what they were trying to solve. Every time a young woman came in, ashamed of being a cleaner or a waitress or a dropout, Lena would smile and say, "I've been there too." And suddenly they would listen. One afternoon, as she organized files in the office, she heard a familiar voice behind her, still changing lives one breath at a time. She turned. It was Derek, in jeans this time, and a simple hoodie. No driver, no assistant, just him. Lena smiled. "You always sneak up like that? Only on people who shine so bright I have to squint to see them." She laughed. A real laugh, not the quiet one she used to hide in Crystal Plaza's Breakroom. He handed her a folder. Inside was a proposal, a full scholarship offer to continue her education at a top university in New York. All expenses paid. A dorm, a travel allowance, a mentorship program, and at the bottom his name, Derek West, sponsor. She looked up, stunned. "Why are you still doing this?" "Because I believe in investing where the return is guaranteed," he said. "And Lena, you're the best investment I've ever made." Months passed. Lena moved to New York. She studied harder than ever, walking through the snowy streets with thick boots and a journal full of plans. She wrote essays on dignity, leadership, and invisible strength. She gave a TEDex talk called "The Girl in the Wet Uniform," and it went viral. In it, she told the world, success isn't always about climbing ladders. Sometimes it's about holding the ladder steady for others while your hands are still dirty. People wept. People reached out. She got emails from janitors, waitresses, street sweepers, and struggling students from around the world. "You made me feel seen. You told my story. You gave me hope." One day, she stood on stage at a women's leadership event. Cameras flashed, reporters buzzed, and as she took the mic, she looked to the front row. There was Derek, smiling, proud, silent, just like the day he handed her the sandwich. When she finished, the audience gave a standing ovation, but Lena didn't bask in it. She closed her eyes for a moment and remembered the sound of mop water, the weight of silence in a staff closet. The moment. A sandwich turned into a miracle. Years later, Lena became the founder of her own foundation, the Silent Hands Initiative, offering scholarships, housing, and career training for invisible workers. Every year, on the anniversary of her TEDx talk, she sent out free lunch packages to janitors. In over 200 buildings across the country, each lunch had a note: "You matter, you are seen, you are enough." And on every note, the initials LM.